They call it pig butchering, but the slaughter isn't on a farm. It's in your bank account, your emotions, and your heart. Cybercriminals build fake love stories, fake trust, and a fake future, and then drain every penny you've got. Dr. Sergio Sanchez and I are pulling back the curtain on the billion-dollar fraud you never thought could happen to you. And we're also going to talk about how to spot the trap before it's too late. State of the end, the most chilling part is what happens after they've stolen all your money. So let's dive in. This is Cybercrime Junkies, and now the show. Catch us on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn, and dive deeper at cybercrimejunkies.com. Don't just watch, be the type of person that fights back. This is Cybercrime Junkies, and now the show. Welcome, everybody, to Cybercrime Junkies. I am your host, David Morrow, and in the studio today is Dr. Sergio Sanchez. We're going to talk about pig butchering, social media, romance scams, and all the like. So let's dive in. You were just saying, sir.
Let me tell you, with the increase in people losing jobs in the United States, as we know, the increase in try to look for a job has going up. And without doubt, also all these scammers has come out.
Yeah, and you see them on social media platforms like LinkedIn, and similar attacks are being done on Indeed and some of these job posting sites as well.
Let me tell you, and I was in that situation. As you know, I was from CIO of the Catholic Church here in America. Sadly, I have to look for another job. And at that moment, when I announced to the world via social media that I was looking for a new position, if I tell you that 30 seconds later, I have already people texting me and calling me and website.
Yes.
And some of them, like, well, you are a high-level executive. If you send me your resume and $500, I will fix it especially for you. Like, hey, I can do that myself.
Right.
But if you think about it, it's very hard for hackers and scammers to basically do this to tech people like us.
Correct.
The main the main zone of attack for them is people that they don't have any idea about technology, but they post the needs online.
Right. Which is a vast majority of people. Like, that's a lot of people. And and you're right. No, but you're right, because when you're in between jobs, when someone is in between jobs, there's a level of desperation. There's a level of trust. We are trusting everybody to see if they will help. We are reaching out to different people who, even if our friends or our affiliates or acquaintances don't know somebody, they introduce us to strangers. We're talking to people online all the time, and we don't know. And that's a high risk situation, right? And they're sending you documents, right? Like, hey, fill out this form. Hey, do this. And you'll do anything to get a job. And so you're like, let me go and do that. But we don't know, because that document could have malware built into it, right?
Yeah, correct. And not only that, I discovered, and I still getting calls, mostly with people with accents, like, it's not in this country, that says, hey, for this position that you are applying, you need to have a PMP position, a project manager.
Project manager, professional project manager.
But don't worry, we will take the test for you in your behalf. Like, no.
There you go. Yeah, and they offer that on the dark web.
Yes,
like,
but
hey, if you want your CISS,
phone.
If you want this, right?
Now they're calling you, and of course they call you from a Google Ghost phone line.
That's exactly. But it says it's from and that's something listeners need to understand, that when you get a phone call, and it shows it's from somebody, your bank, you're a family member, or even from a local number, right? That doesn't mean that they're local. That doesn't mean that it's your family member. It doesn't mean it's called spoofing the number. And there are websites online, nominal cost, and you can spoof any number. You can make a call appear from any number, and people don't realize that. They're like, they can't do that, or it must be really hard to do. No, it's super easy. You literally pay like $10 and you're able to spoof a number.
Used to be applications,
right?
Apple and Android, that they used to do it for you.
Right.
You can send a call from the White House or from somebody in Hollywood. And the hardest part now is that not only you can spoof the telephone number, but you can clone the voice of anyone.
Yeah.
So if you receive the phone call from, your boss or somebody in your family, you will really believe it's that person.
Yeah. Well, and that's the phrase synthetic media or AI deepfakes. It's images, videos, voice, right, that purport to be something that they're not. And part of the reason it's gotten really good, you and I have played around with it a lot, and it's gotten very good. And part of the reason it's gotten so good, the models, the machine, the LLMs, the large language models that are building these, they used to require hours and hours and hours of samples in order to train on, in order to match it so well, which was part of the reason why the only time we ever saw somebody impersonating their voice or their face, or it looks like them, it was Tom Cruise, it was President Obama, it was somebody famous, because there was so much content online. Well, now AI is advanced so quickly that you only need a couple minutes of somebody's voice. So, and what's weird is this, you can actually get that from a voicemail. So I've seen people do it from a voicemail, meaning I don't have to have, let's say we're going to target Mrs. Buttermaker, right? Sally over there, we're going to target her, right? We don't have to get her to say something and record her voice. She doesn't have to have YouTube videos up. She doesn't have to have social media where she's talking. We can call her number and her voicemail that says, "Hi, this is Sally Buttermaker. I'm unable to come to the phone right now." With that clip alone, they've been able to train it, and now you have her voice. And now you can make her voice say anything, and it's virtually undetectable from the human ear. And that's the problem.
Or even if you want to be worse, now, for example, I'm going to show you a device that I just got. This is from Amazon. And the thing that does is will be able to be attached to your phone.
Is that Plaid? Is that the Plaid doc? Or is that Plaid? There's a couple different brands that do that. Yes. I thought about that.
Basically, yeah.
It records everything, right? Like it's almost like when you have a Teams or a Zoom meeting, you can click record and it'll transcribe the meeting and summarize it for you. That allows you to do that everywhere you go.
Not only that, this is connected to my ChatGPT account and transcribe whatever I'm saying to whatever person. And not only that, translate also to any language.
That's amazing. So you can take what somebody else said.
Exactly.
Translate. So next time I call you, I'm going to have to make sure that thing's not on.
Oh, don't you worry.
And I'll be like, "Hey, are you recording this, buddy?" And because then you'll have me in Spanish saying a bunch of stuff that I didn't say.
Yeah, you can do that. Actually, This is funny. My wife don't speak Spanish at all.
Yeah.
I make her give me some words in English. I completely translate her with her own voice in Spanish. And I send it to my friends and told them, "Hey, you see, my wife is learning it."
See, she's getting very good, isn't she?
And of course, my wife doesn't speak a word of Spanish. But that's how we need to be.
That's incredible. It's incredibly exciting when it comes to the creative, the content creators, people like you and me that want to share the word, right? Like we want to translate it for people. We want to get it out there in the public. it's exciting. Like I love it. On the other side, there's convenience and things that are cool. On the other side is security. And that is, what is the risk? What is the harm that can be done? And to me, what it does is it now has a new threat landscape. And when we talk about threat landscapes, well, when you think about your home, right? Your threat landscape, you have physically, they can get in through windows, your front door, the garage door, the side laundry room door, stuff like that. At work, you have all of the computers, the servers, the applications that you use online. That's your threat landscape, meaning somebody that wants to do your organization harm, they can get in that way. We have to protect those spots because they're public facing, right? And now the threat landscape includes our very voices, our faces, right? And that is really hard when you're thinking like, I can't even get people to stop clicking on email links. How am I going to get them to control voices and faces and things like that, right?
Think about the main tool of a scammer or hacker or spammer is the feeling of the person that they are attacking.
That's
the fear.
Brilliant. That's brilliant because that's what today's about, right? When we talk about pig butchering, right? And we talk about those romance scams, the reason they call it pig butchering is because like a actual animal, right? They're considered the dog. The target, the victim, is considered the pig. And what do they do before they butcher a pig? They fatten it up and then they lead it to slaughter. The pig doesn't know that he's going to slaughter, otherwise they wouldn't go, right? You convince them there's food in there, go into that cage. Go ahead and you fatten them up and then you lead them there. And so let's talk about some examples. You and I did a bunch of research and the way they do it, there's a lot of different scams out there. Romance scams, there's a lot of investment scams.
Yes, actually they combine both.
Right.
I don't know the most famous at this moment is a woman in Europe that she lost close to 900,000 euros.
Wow. Which is like 1.2 million in American.
More or less. But the funny part here is she thought that she was helping Brad Pitt, the actor. Pitt.
I just read about this. I just heard about that. And she's not dumb. Like everybody hears this. And the first thing I know the listeners are thinking of is, what an idiot. She should have known better. Brad Pitt's not going to talk to her. She's actually got like master's, doctorate degrees. She's very bright, very good at her job, professional, well-known. She's not an idiot. And she herself like vetted it multiple times. She was like, well, Brad Pitt. And then she would go and Google where Brad Pitt was that day. And she would ask the person, and he's like, yeah, I'm right here. And they would take a picture of him like on the set right there where Google said he was. So all of the things, they were really good at this, right?
Well, actually, let me tell you, the thing didn't come directly to her. Came first, they did this to the mother of her. And the mother didn't go directly friend of Brad Pitt. No, she got friendship with the mother of Brad Pitt. So They fake that the mother of Brad Pitt connected the mother of this woman.
So you had social reinforcement from your own mom
so
saying,
one day,
no, I'm talking to his mom.
Exactly. So one day, the mother of Brad Pitt telling the mother of this woman, hey, by the way, my son, is single now. What is the name? The actress that he was married with.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is forcing her, blah, blah, blah. And, he's too lonely. Your daughter is also single. Why we get them in touch? And then they allowed the mother of this woman talking to her. Hey, I know the mother of Brad Pitt, blah, blah, blah. And I've been talking with her for several months, etc., etc. And we think it's a good idea to introduce you to Brad Pitt. And of course, the woman, what do you mean? Yes, my friend, whatever was the name of the mother of Brad Pitt, is my friend, and we interchange things and blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, well, that was the convincing piece that entered her world from the mother.
So
because the mother got a scam first.
So that's really well played. When you think about psych ops and like psychological manipulation and operations that like spy agencies do, that was actually a very smooth move.
This is like Ocean 11.
Yeah, it really is.
Or, Mission Impossible.
Now, how did she wind up giving money to Brad Pitt? He's got a lot of money.
And that happened one day after several months already of dating Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
He called and says, hey, I need an emergency surgery. And they're asking me for this amount of money. And you know how is Angelina is not giving me money for the divorce. And if I don't take this surgery right now, I will be dying. And of course, this poor woman starts to wire in the money, blah, blah, blah.
And by then she's invested. She's convinced that it's
him.
Oh,
yes. She is convincing 100%.
Yeah. And she's in love with him or infatuated or whatever. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I send the money. Because she was saving the life of Brad Pitt, which probably didn't have any money at the moment to save his life.
Right. Wow. That's just so, and it's so part of the problem that comes with this is it's so embarrassing when you're the victim. There's so many victims out there who don't come forward because they're like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to.
Part of the reason she didn't came right away was for that reason. But I think almost 1 million euros convinced her to go ahead and talk about it. But sadly, that's how happened.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Most business leaders have a fatal flaw which results in their growth being interrupted or stopped terminally. They ignore the mountain they're about to crash into, distracted by the focus on revenue growth. Until it's too late. Don't become another fatal business statistic. Keep your cybersecurity modern so you can grow without interruption. Stay competitive. Get NetGain. Stay focused on your growth and funding. While NetGain keeps your technology always available with expert-level cybersecurity services to stop breaches in their tracks, all at a fraction of the cost of managing it yourself. Don't wait for a technology disaster to interrupt and cripple your growth. Speak with a specialist today. Contact NetGain Technologies today at 844-777-6278 or reach out online at netgainit.com. That's 844-777-6278 and netgainit.com. Grow your business uninterrupted. Contact NetGain today.
That's just unbelievable. That's and we've talked in the past. Some pig butchering scams. What they do is they will kind of, there's a lot of social media people out there talking about investment ways, and what they'll do is they'll get on dating sites, they'll get on Instagram, they'll DM people, they'll do a direct message on social media sites, on LinkedIn and stuff, and they'll flatter them, and it'll be more social at first. And meanwhile, they're like, I'm heading off to Copenhagen for the weekend, and then after that, we're going to go watch Wimbledon, and then after that, we're doing this. And while you're trying to date them online, you might be located in Canada or Australia or the US. You're like, hey, how are you? Can I ask? Because you're talking about other stuff, right? You're talking about food, you're talking about restaurants, you're talking about concerts, and then you say, how do you afford to do this? And she's like, oh, I could, and they play it off very subtly. They're like, oh, I could show you how to do it, but it's a lot of crypto investments. I've invested in a lot of really good coins that have gone up in value, and I liquidate it, and it goes really well. And then they just ignore it, and then they just talk about all the stuff they're buying and all the stuff they're doing and creating that allure. Mm-hmm. And then somebody's like, well, what coin? Like, what are you buying that's shooting up so that I could buy some and jump on the wave, right? And there's a couple coins that they use. I think Tether is one that they manipulate. It has to do with the privacy of the coin so that law enforcement can't track it. I think the coin name is Tether is one of them. It's not going to be Bitcoin because everybody has their hands on Bitcoin. Plus, Bitcoin's quite expensive, obviously. But Tether is one of them, and there's a couple other. Monero is one of them, and you see them do this. And what they'll do is they'll say, well, sure, I invest through my friend. We can set you up with your own portal. You can see it. You can track it. And just start small. Like if you're not used to investing, like they're really good at fattening the pig, right? Like they're like, just do a little bit, like just $500, $250, something. Just start small. And what'll happen is the fattening of the pig is they'll invest $250, for example, and they'll get $2,000 back quickly. And they're like, and I can withdraw it. And they'll let them withdraw it. Mm-hmm. So they'll pay extra for that, right? Because the relationship's still going. The relationship's still going because now she's got him. She's already demonstrated almost a proof of concept, a proof of life, that I make my money doing this. I just showed you how you can do it, and you just did it. See, it's real, right? Meanwhile, none of that is true. Like, it's not real. Like, you put your money into an attacker's account. They just paid you more money back. Created a fake portal that shows that your investment's ticking up, but it's not real. It's just a website. They just have a website that goes like this, right? It's not real. And then they're like, well, if I did that on $250, think of every gambler, every stockbroker mentality, right? Well, what if I did that with 100,000? What if I did that with 250,000? What if I liquidated my 401k, which is like on life support right now, and it's just teetering along, right? What if I liquidate that and put that in here, right? And they slowly do it. And even on the next one, if they do maybe 5,000, they might get 6,000 back. So they're like, well, I still made, that's a great percentage, 20% of my money, like really quick. Over a year, that could be 80% return. Like nobody's giving that. You can't find that anywhere. No bank does that. And so then they do that, but then they go in for the jugular. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you do it, she disappears. You try and reach her. The numbers are dead. She's off social media. You don't see her anymore. And then you're like, what's going on? Like, where'd she go? Where's my girlfriend? What's happening? Right? And then it's like, yeah. And then you're like, well, where's my money? And then you try and get the money out. It's gone. You can't withdraw.
I'm going to tell you this too. And I have two real life, close to me examples. And I'm going to start with people loves to be lied to.
Yeah.
And love and greed is what these people use to get you. The first one, my mother-in-law, sadly, my father-in-law passed away. And she is pretty, she's 70, I would say 76 years old. And she's still competing in bodybuilding. So you can imagine the lady. And she put herself online. And of course, one day she comes and says, oh my God, I met this amazing guy, has his own private jet. He goes everywhere in Europe, the big dream. And I told her, show me the picture. So she showed me the picture and looks too good to be true. Like is like 20, 30 years younger of her. And I asked her, did this guy call you? Do he have like a video conference? Says, no. And he always just texts me. Okay. Red flag number one. Number two.
100%.
I says, okay, so you are going to ask him to take a picture of himself, touching the tip of the nose with the index finger and the top of the hair.
And she must think you're crazy. She must think like, why would I ask my new boyfriend to do that?
So I said,
like, just trust me.
Just tell him that your son-in-law is asking for that. She did that, and guess what?
What happened?
The guy never showed up again.
Really? Because what he was using was AI deepfake, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you can get on video, you can send pictures, and you can be on there, but it's an application, right? It uses AI that then I could be a 35-year-old Asian woman, right? From a certain region with a certain dialect, right? Mm-hmm. And speaking different languages even. And I'm just speaking. Normally, it's taking a video of me, but it's putting that filter on. And all you see is the voice and the face of that person.
Correct.
Not me, right?
So at that time, AI wasn't that good. So I guess the guy couldn't replicate. You put the finger in the nose and put the another one in the top. Today, what I suggest that people is to ask the person to shake the camera of the computer. AI is not smart enough to have a shake at the moment of that.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Right.
And another
or to
one,
send you a recording. Like, hey, I can't be on a call, but I want you to say hi to my son-in-law or whatever. Send me that recording, because then you can upload that into certain detectors. And while they're not really perfect yet, they help and they will show you, a lot of them are free even online, and some of them are paid. You can do it for 1 month and then cancel. But you can upload that video on, and it'll tell you whether it's AI or not.
Absolutely. And then the second one is exactly what you were saying. So as you probably know, I give a podcast and a talk in Spanish for my friends my age to try to help them, with security at home in Mexico. And one of them, after one of my talks about this exactly thing, the slaughtering, he called me and says, I got this $100 from a company for me to invest. Do you think is real? Okay, wait. A company send you money, $100, for you to get that $100 that they are sending you, for you to invest in crypto coins?
That's
first of all, exactly what you are saying.
That's a bunch of red flags right there.
The first one is and I says, okay, what you did? I invested that $100 in that. Okay, that's fake. That is a scam. Be happy that you didn't lose money.
Right.
No, but they are sending me back $1,000 now.
They're just fattening the pig.
You are getting a scam.
Right.
I tried to convince him, and I think I couldn't. So I said, hey, can I talk with your wife?
Yes, that's
smart. I have to talk with the wife.
That's a good friend, though. That's a good friend, because you're like, look, if you're not going to listen to me, let me talk to the boss.
Yes.
And really, maybe they can talk some sense into you.
But like I tell you, people want to be live because they have these hopes that they are going to find the perfect love, or that
or the perfect investment,
I'm going to become rich in 24 hours. And that is what these people use like tools. And like a very good friend of you, Mr. Carpenter, Perry Carpenter, says,
yes,
this is an AI tool. It's like a hammer. You give the hammer to a carpenter and he can build you a cabin, a beautiful one. But you give that hammer to a serial killer.
Right. And they can do a lot of damage. That's exactly right. And that's a great analogy, actually, isn't it? Because it's not it's almost like guns, right? Like guns are used to protect our homes. Guns are used for hunting and target shooting and all these things, right? We hear these mass shootings and we're appalled and we're like, well, let's just ban guns. And I'm like, well, look, and this isn't a political statement at all, but I'm like, look, it's not the fork that's making me fat. It's my eating habit. It's the person using the fork, right? It's the person using the gun. And so Like, we don't want to lose the Second Amendment and our right to protect ourselves because we're not the bad guys. We're the good guys. We need to be able to protect ourselves, right?
That's correct.
Not that we even do that or anything else. But the point is, it's very similar, right? It's not the tool. The tool is powerful. It could be deadly. But if we respect it and we learn how to use it, then we could create with it. We could do fun things with it, right? We don't have to do harm to others, which is the cool part of it. But it is something that we all have to be aware of.
Yeah, and the only way that you can defend yourself against all this is having the knowledge of what tools these people or how they are using the tool, these people.
100%.
So that is the only line of defense between you and a scammer.
Yeah. So I've got one. I've got a story. Hang on. Can I share this one with you? This one talked about the headline. So here's a headline nobody wants to have about them. 63-year-old retired Queensland, Australia police officer gambled his life savings away, about $1.9 million on a crypto opportunity run by a flashy German expatriate who had moved down there. The spoiler alert is that he lost all that money, big time. He met Mr. Crypto Millionaire online on Instagram, saw him on YouTube. He had a big social media presence, which to me, common sense in hindsight is always a red flag. I don't get my financial advice from an influencer on social media. You shouldn't get your financial advice from Reddit, right? Like you don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Go talk to Charles Schwab. Go talk to like an institution, right? It's like somebody that literally does it and has to be registered and tested and vetted to be able to do it. But then even for added credibility, they met face to face in Australia. The person brought charts, dashboards, all of the trappings. So it almost reminds me of Bernie Madoff, right? And how he used to have all the reports. Like you could look online, you could get the reports. They would show the reports. You're like, here's your investments. Here's your investments when you invested. Here they are last quarter. Here they are now. They're going up. But it's just a piece of paper. Literally, it could say anything, right? When in reality, what Bernie Madoff was doing is he was just spending the money. He just had the money, right? Like there was no account. It was literally just a spreadsheet that they printed out and did diagrams on and gave to you, right? Meanwhile, collecting your money, thinking that you were making all this money. The only time it's a true Ponzi scheme, because the only time it ever goes down is when several people want to withdraw at the same time, which is why you have to keep feeding the Ponzi scheme and getting new investors, right? So that you can pay off the people that want to leave with the people that are joining.
Correct.
And so what happened here is after he had invested a lot of money over time, a little bit in the beginning, and then would get a return. And he could liquidate it. He could get it back. He's like, this is real. I got my money back. I put in 100,000, got 140,000. Real money. Okay, great. Because they're fattening the pig to get them to invest the bulk. And then he invests almost $2 million, which raises the question, how much are they paying cops in Queensland? Because I know a lot of police officers, they don't have $2 million in the bank. Like, that's pretty good. So kudos to him. I'm sorry this happened to you, but you were frugal throughout your life. You saved a lot of money. God bless you. But then came the inevitable twist. The platform collapsed. His phone was allegedly hacked, right? And like that, Mr. Millionaire ghosted him. Like that guy, the influencer, was gone on social media. The investment, the platform, he couldn't log in. It was all gone. And then they chased down Mr. Millionaire, the guy, the social media guy, in Thailand, which doesn't have extradition. Okay, there's a reason they're in Thailand. And they literally filmed a face-off scene straight out of reality TV. The former police officer stared down the scammer with righteous fury of a man who just lost every dang cent in his retirement. And the scammer said, "No, I've been hacked." Right. And the police officer was like, "Well, you should have thought of that before stealing my life savings." And then the police officers even said, "Yeah, we're not even buying that either." Like nobody even believed the scammer at the end.
Of course.
But he was, throughout the time, he was getting 5 to 10% returns per month. So he was getting the reports that showed that. The problem is he wasn't trying to get the money out. And not until the end, and that first time, they let him take the money out to get that proof of life,
yes,
to create a sense of legitimacy. But then after he had put in 1.9 million,
that
was it. So, and it's really tragic because the person just, not only, it's the money loss is one thing, but the loss in trust. I've seen a lot of interviews and have spoken to people that have been victims of the romance scams and the pig butchering scams. And a lot of them became suicidal. A lot of them really, because they genuinely thought the person loved them. Like they genuinely thought it was real. And so we've all had our hearts broken in life. And so that pain and that like existential moment is coupled with the fact that you're now bankrupt because of that, right? And it's embarrassing. It's not something people want to talk about. And it's just tragic. It's just, I just wanted to share that story.
Yeah.
The name of the person was, it was called the Instagram crypto scam. And the name of the influencer was Jay Mazzini. Jay Mazzini. He would flaunt wealth. He ran a crypto Ponzi scheme, and he scammed that person plus several others and took a total of $8 million.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But you see it on social media. You see these like flashy people driving a McLaren, and they're 28 years old. They're driving a McLaren. They're cruising. They're taking trips to Dubai. They're all over the place. They're like, "This is how we make our money. It's crypto, baby. Invest now. Take the next token."
You notice, and with the social media, has been also this explosion of people that I became millionaire in 3 days.
Right. It's like super fast. Oh, yeah, exactly.
If you buy my technique, if you buy my book, if you buy my, for $200, I can give you this course, these lessons. And the first thing that comes to a normal person mind is like, if you are that rich, why you are spending time trying to sell more things with people that probably you will suffer because they are not very quick to think. Like you just make all this money, continue doing whatever you want to do. The another thing is, so you are going to tell me how I can be a competitor? So you are telling me all your secrets in that way, and you are telling me and probably thousands of people here in Facebook or Instagram how you are making your money in that way. Now you are not the only one that knows the trick.
Right.
To me, this is like Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken or KFC.
Yeah. Like telling everybody the secret recipe.
I can tell you what is the 12 secret ingredients of my chicken.
Yeah.
When that happened. McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is the famous legend, the urban legend that is only 2 people in the world that knows the formula. And they cannot fly at the same time, and that they don't know each other. And one of them has half of the ingredients and the other half of the ingredients. And when they stop working for Coca-Cola, they have to basically...
Like 2 children that get separated at birth with half a medallion, and then we meet together later when we can put the medallion together.
Exactly,
it's so
except
ridiculous.
that Coca-Cola doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
But then that is how it has been for centuries. And now you are telling me that you are openly giving the secret of your success to millions of people in that way. all the money.
For those listeners that want to know Colonel Sanders' secret, his secret was in franchising. Like, exactly. His brilliance, honestly, was franchising his idea that he's got some secret to a bunch of people, and they all became successful. And then he made a cut on all. It's actually a brilliant move. It hadn't been done before. Now franchises are pretty common, but there's a reason for that. But I mean, imagine falling for what feels like a blooming romance, and then only to hand over a fortune to a fake person that later on disappears. I mean, the silence, that silence after when your money's gone and that romance or that friendship, or I've seen it also where it's mentorship, where it's not even like a romance. It's just mentorship, this leader, this person that is guiding me through my career and through life, and this life coach and things like that. They get you through a hard time, and there's value to that relationship. To just poof, it's just all gone. And it's that silence that devastates people.
Is the loss not only of the money, but also the loss of yourself? Like, well, I give myself to this person. Also, believe it or not, even when they know that they got a scam and they got their money and that character probably wasn't even real, that person is still forever. Now, in my mind, I was in love with this person and this person was no good to me. Right. Even that maybe it's not even a girl. Maybe it's a group of people that are laughing.
They're like in a call center. A lot of them are in a call center in like Malaysia or wherever, right? Like,
I recommend you to see the movie, The Beekeeper, that really portrayed the level of industriosity, the level of how they have cubicles, they have phone lines, they is computers everywhere. It's just like you said.
They have a quota, they have metrics, they have to hit these certain numbers, they have to do it.
They probably have a human resources department.
Oh yeah. Well, and some of them in some countries too, they're even like forced to do it. Like they are forced to do it. There's like, entrapment camps. But some of the victims, as we wind up this topic, I want to read some of the comments from some of the victims because it's really devastating.
Yeah.
One lady, Jacqueline Crenshaw in Connecticut, real person. She's quoted as saying, "This would have been, I would say, the best husband or boyfriend I've ever met in my life. I was slaughtered." Jacqueline described being emotionally drawn in, trusting a seemingly perfect partner who turned out to be the architect of her financial ruin. The victimization left her retirement wiped out, her credit was ruined, and now she's facing foreclosure. So think of that. So the problem with that is it's not even like they're just like you have $300,000 in savings and they're taking $50,000. That's something to deal with. Like that's a hard loss to have, right? For sure. But you still have the other 200,000 and your life is still going on. That's not what's happening. These people are taken for everything. Like their entire savings is gone. Their credit is ruined, so they can't even borrow money to get them out of this. And then their home is gone, and they're in foreclosure. Another lady, a Maryland victim, her name remains anonymous for a couple of reasons. But she said, I put in over $3 million into this, and it showed that I was making close to 80% a year in profit until she tried to withdraw it. And then she realized she couldn't access it and it was all gone. So she said, you trust somebody and you get betrayed. It really hurts more than the money part, right? It's that emotional trust that gets broken. In this case, the emotional betrayal outweighed even the staggering financial loss. Millions poured into a fake crypto scheme, all under the guise of gaining trust. It's really, really brutal, isn't it?
The hard part is that this goes for months, even years sometimes. They are not quit in this. And if you think about it, it's not the job of only one person. this is
no,
a group
there's
of people that
it's a group of people. It's a
do
group
this.
of people. Yep. Because they will doctor and keep the scam going. And you're right, it goes on for a while. Like at first, they're not going to come up to you. Here's the thing that I think listeners and viewers need to understand is it's not obvious. Like they're not going to come up to you and say, hey, would you like to invest in my crypto thing? You can make 80% on the money. You sound like a used car salesman. We don't want it. We see you coming. No, right? It is a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? It is a, hey, what's going on? Oh, you look good. Oh, that was funny. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing. And then the next day, a little something else. And then the next day, a little something else. And it builds over time and it goes on for months or years. And then they start dropping hints like, well, I'm going over here, or well, I've got to go see my parent. My parent's not well. They're in the hospital, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then after they know you know them and that you are invested emotionally, that's when they ask for something, right?
They're there for the long game because they know that the longest they go, the less opposed to help them or give them money or send information is going to be easier. Yeah. And think about this. What happened, sadly, if it's the government, the target? Like, hey, I met this person that works for this government entity, and I will make her fall in love or make him fall in love. And after a couple months or years, hey, so what is the secret that you are holding there?
Where's the login? Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Sergio. So what that shows is the blurring of the lines between our private lives and our work lives, right? Because one thing that most business owners and leaders don't consider is their employees' personal lives when it comes to cyber risk. Because how often could somebody be dating or pursuing somebody that just needs, hey, you know what, my Word documents, I have to renew this. Could I use your login real quick just so that I've got to do this PowerPoint thing for this presentation. Could I get your access? Do you mind? And you love them. You consider them family. Like, of course, here you go. And you give them the login. And now they have the login to work. And work has been the target this whole time.
Exactly.
Right? It's brutal. People are so mean. And with technology now, it gets into what you and I always talk about is when we get online, we're entering their world. You're not in Kansas, right? Like we're not in the town that we live in. When we get online, we are global. We're global, right? And so you now can get attacked not by some scammer that you have to go and try and buy a product from in person, right? Or that is trying to, do some infomercial or some timeshare thing that you have to go and sit for days and they're going to try and scam you and stuff like that. It's not that. Every time you get online, social media, when you're by yourself in the bedroom, you're like scrolling through social media. That's when they're going to get you. And that's what's so emotionally triggering on these types of scams.
Think about this, and around 10 years was a website. I don't know, it's still around. Used to be called Live 2.0.
Okay, I don't
where
remember.
People used to go and live a alternative life online. And they were able to do their avatars. And funny part here, became so successful that companies used to sell virtual products for real money. So you can dress your avatar like with Gucci.
It's almost like Web 3.0 and the metaverse where you can buy real estate and NFTs and all stuff like that, right? Like you can do that. Yeah.
So that was the precursor.
All right.
Of this site that I'm telling you, I don't know, it's still online or alive, but people used to spend thousands of dollars.
Right.
I'm going to tell you a story also about how reality and the kinetic world and the digital world got together. I, again, used to work for Activision Blizzard. Blizzard, one of the big, huge names was World of Warcraft. One of my friends, one of the developers, created this little program, which I don't qualify like AI, but I will tell you the beginning kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Where, meanwhile, he was working, developing another games, he put this bot in the game to farm things. And then he used to sell the things for real to people. Like, hey, I have the sword of whatever, that, you know, the sword that you can kill everybody, and I'm selling it for $10,000. People used to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, think about the games. Think about all the skins people buy for games. I mean, think about like Fortnite and all the games, like all that stuff. Like,
and that actually was the beginning of these companies, these video game companies, thinking about the microtransactions inside the game. Like, hey,
right.
So we finished the game, but maybe we can start selling things apart.
Well, isn't that their business model? I mean, you came from that industry, but I mean, think about it. They give the game away for free. Mm-hmm. Like you can download, you can play for free. The point is even if they get so many people playing, that even if only 2% of everybody would buy something to get the premium version or the cheats or the more powerful swords or whatever, and then they could do better in the game because they play 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, right there, that's big money, right? Like at the end of the year, it's still more than paying for itself, and it grows exponentially.
Think about Fortnite. So Fortnite started for free.
Yep.
And now they are putting characters from Star Wars.
Right.
And even
Marvel, all those guys. Yeah.
And those people pay for being in the game.
Yep.
So that's very interesting how.
Yeah. But I mean, on the scam side, I mean, that's just good business, actually, what we're just talking about. But on the scam side, there are ways you can manipulate that stuff. And a warning to a lot of people that is where a lot of SIM swapping and a lot of malware gets transferred, is when you try and buy the cheats for those games. Because you can go online and you can go to these sites and buy ultimate power in this video game, and it can work. The problem is they now also control your computer, and a lot of people will still use the same computer at night, that then in the morning they fire up their Microsoft and they fire up work, and now they're on the regular computer going to work. Meanwhile, the attackers are inside.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The division between your online life and your real life is vanished. But now the line between your job and your personal life also is gone.
Yep, that's exactly right. So what are people supposed to do as we wrap up here? What are the things that people should be doing? Like what are some things? Obviously, if it's too good to be true, it is. Right? Verify who the person is in reality. First of all, everything about everybody's online.
Yes.
And if you can't find something about somebody online, call us. Call Sergio and me. We will find information on them and we'll share it to you. Like, for sure. Like, there are ways, or we'll put you in touch with the sites and the aspects where you can find everything about somebody online. Check your privacy settings, right? On social media, look at things like that, because you can control who sees your posts, and some people just never think to do those things, and then when they're making posts and they share things about their life, people that might want to do you harm are seeing them. You can set privacy settings so that your posts are only to your friends, right? Like, that's a smart thing. Same thing with LinkedIn, Instagram, stuff like that. And then verify job listings. When you're out there and you're hungry and you're looking for a job and you see something, any job that is going to ship you something or you have to pay for it in order to work there, huge red flag. Huge red flag. Most valid, credible employers never require that, right? They just require you to prove who you are. They might check your schooling just to make sure you're really who you say you are, and then they're going to let you. They'll give you the equipment and they'll let you work there. But always report suspicious posts, suspicious behaviors. Anybody promising or wanting to invest. There's the IC3 from the FBI. There's the FTC. There's a lot of these sites. You can even just Google like this. I believe this might be a red flag. Who can I report this to? And there's a couple different organizations. Over in Europe, I know there's staysafeonline.org. There's a lot of good nonprofits that will help connect the dots for people and help victims out.
That's correct. And really, verify. That's the only way. Don't trust. Yeah. This is painful to say, but don't trust anyone.
Well, no. And when you think about deepfakes, and people are like, okay, that sounds crazy, but I can't really picture in my mind how it would be used. Here's an example. You get a phishing email. It's from the CFO of your company. It says, hey, we're doing an acquisition. We need you to send us all the W-2s or all the information on these employees or something like that. I don't have it, but I need it right now. And you're like, well, that's kind of odd. I'm going to wait until I see them next. I'm not going to do anything. But then they send you a calendar invite for a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting. And then they jump on the Zoom with you. And they're like this, just like you and me. They're like this, right? And you're trusting that I'm actually me. I'm trusting that you're actually you. I've met you, like I know you. But the point is it could be a deep fake.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and
this is what I do. You see? I moved there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, I moved mine. You know what I mean? Like anybody can be doing it. And the thing is that in that scenario, what you need to do is communicate with the CEO or the CFO through the channel, meaning on the platform that you normally communicate with them. If you have their phone number, call them, text them their number, not the number that this new person or the questionable person is giving you, right? Don't trust the numbers there. But what'll happen is they'll jump on a Teams or a Zoom call and they will sound just like the person. They will look just like the person. There's no way of knowing. And it's gotten that good. It's virtually undetectable by the human eye.
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways you can ask them to move the camera, put their nose up in front, because some of the deepfake stuff, it'll show like the green screen. You'll be able to tell it's a virtual camera. It's not live. But sometimes you can't tell, and because of that, you just have to confirm. Before you do it, you need to confirm it. Just verify. Verify. So thank you so much, my friend. We will be talking about other topics. Sergio has agreed to join me as we interview a couple of the guests that we have coming up. We've got some really good guests, and I really appreciate your time. And this is a touchy subject. All of these are pretty sensitive, pretty emotionally charged, because it's not just about the scam and the crime. It's also just the cruelty that is done to people in order to do this, and the length and the investment, the intimacy that they gain to another human over time and then turn on them like that. It's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Thank you, my friend.